different next season. Anthony Davis and others are now wearing purple and gold, prompting several executives to predict they'll win right about 50 games. However, those same execs warned ESPN that the Lakers do have injury concerns, plus their margin for error is very small. One exec said, quote, "I'll never rule LeBron out, but a lot of things would have to fall in place for them to win it." We're joined by FS1 NBA analyst Chris Broussard. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Skip has the Lakers at 49. Shannon has them at 56. Do you agree with any of this?
I'm certainly much closer to Shannon, 56. And if they win all out, they're definitely winning more than 56. But I think 55, 56 will be around there. I don't see under 50 because, you know, we know they're not going to go all out for the regular season.
It's over.
Right. There's no way. I'm saying it right now. No way they don't win 50 games, you know, unless there's major injuries to their star players. But I agree with the executive who says a lot has to fall in place for them to win. However, I don't agree to the point where the Lakers are a long shot. Like, they're no long shot to win it next year. I think they're the second best team in the league right now. And so I think the regular season record, they may be the 4th seed, they may be the 3rd seed. Like, I don't see, regular season is going to be about chemistry building, load management, getting the rotation right, and all of that. So they're not going to have a
and that equals
tremendous
56 wins?
Yeah. 54, 55 wins.
Because 2 plus 2
I'm gonna say,
equals
if you
2.
If you want to hold me to a record, I'm going to say 53 to 54 wins.
Well, which is it?
I'll say 54 wins.
Okay, 54 and 56.
wins.
You want to go up?
No, I would
Well, he was stoking your fire.
But I love how these execs say injuries are concerned. What about Kawhi? Who's been injured?
Well, why is it always about somebody else? You always have to change the subject to somebody else.
Because he keeps saying, because everybody keeps saying everything has to fall right.
Right.
What fell right for Toronto last year? Something always has to fall right.
I do think there are more question marks about this Lakers team than most teams, than the Clippers team. That's why I think the Clippers are better. Here's the question marks. Number one, health. As you said, it's for every team. However, it's more so for the Lakers. Number one, your best player, LeBron's in his 17th year. He's coming off an injury. So I'm just saying, you have to see how it works out. Anthony Davis, in 7 years, has only played 70 or more games twice.
Let's
see how that works. Avery Bradley, why was he still on the market? Because the last 3 games, 3 years, 55 games, 46 games, 63 games 3 years ago. So his last 3 years, he's been injured. And not to mention Boogie. Second thing, they have to accept roles. What if Boogie doesn't start or finish? Is he going to be... Boogie wants to, understandably, showcase himself.
Right.
So he can get this big deal. So
I thought he was doing that last year, but go ahead.
What if Kuzma isn't happy with the role, if he's not the definitive 3rd guy? So they have to accept roles. Coaching situation. We know that LeBron, number 1 choice, Ty Lue. Who's number 2 choice? The assistant coach, Jason Kidd. So do they buy into, not just LeBron, but do they all buy into Frank Vogel? I mean, I think one reason Toronto was able to win it was because Kawhi, as much as he didn't want to be in Toronto, as much as he nor anybody else knew what Nick Nurse could do, he just bought in. And we're going to do what we do. So there's that. Then drama. We know LeBron. Look, I used to talk about David Griffin about this all the time when he was in Cleveland. And how, remember, there was always drama, and he said, we don't like when things are just perfect. And we thrive in chaos.
We don't like prosperity.
Right, we don't like prosperity. We thrive in chaos. And they did. And who sets that culture? LeBron. And they do. He does. What's his greatest victory? Coming back from 3-1 down against a 73-win team. He thrives in it. But does Anthony Davis thrive in it? Does Boogie thrive in it? Does Rondo thrive in it? Kuzma. Like, and I don't see why there's volatility on the roster. But I'd love to see a drama-free season. I mean, but will we? These are all the things that have to fall in line for them to win it.
So, we just heard Chris Broussard, who once wanted to be a preacher and still could be a preacher. We heard him preaching about all the issues that could befall this team or confront this team. But we heard right out of the box, we heard 54 wins.
54.
So it doesn't add up to me. I agree with every point you just made because I opened the show making every last point you made. It doesn't add up to 54 or certainly to 56.
49?
But guess-
49?
Let
49 and
that sink
33.
in for a second. That's how talented we are. With all these question marks, he got 54. So if we cross out 2 of the 4 question marks, what we ask Skip Bayless? You count. Might be 60. 61, 62.
You want to go up? Go ahead.
No, I want to talk.
No, go.
You go. You go.
Go.
You go ahead. I want to talk.
No,
right
I want to hear you talk yourself into 58.
now. Nope.
Come on.
Nope.
Come on, go to the big 6-0. Go for it.
Nope.
It sounds a lot better.
Nope.
Say 60.
'Cause
Then you got some guts.
We're on a load management. And I told you,
Right.
LeBron James gonna miss somewhere between 10 and 15 games. I believe Anthony Davis will miss somewhere between 8 and 10, 8 and 12 games. So I don't believe they'll miss the same games, but when the other guy's out, I have no question the other guy can step up. But will Boogie be Boogie when one of those guys are missing? Will Kyle Kuzma step up and show growth in year 3 that we saw some in year 2?
Okay.
So, well, I'm good.
Okay. I'm not good because I'm going to go back to Brian Windhorse's piece because there's a lot of yin and yang in here. There's a lot of real pro and a lot of real con. And one of the early real cons came from an anonymous scout who says, if they stay healthy, the Lakers, they have a playoff lineup now. And I told Shannon
you
earlier,
have a playoff
but that's like,
Playoff?
that's damning with faint praise. It's like, that's
playoff.
all you got is
Oh,
a
yeah,
playoff
exactly.
lineup? So you got the 8th seed if everybody's healthy? Is that what we're saying? That's how that came across?
I think what I interpreted that as when they get to the playoffs,
Okay.
they're going
All
to
right,
be tough.
fine.
Because they're
Okay.
slower, bigger.
I will give you
game
that.
slows down.
I'm going to remind everybody they went 37-45 last year with a very different roster, but with the same superstar, the quote-unquote best player on the planet, right in the middle of it. He started 55 games, did LeBron James last year, and he went 28-27. And when he activated early into playoff mode in late March, what happened? They lost 12 out of 15 games. And they finished at 37-45, 11 games worse than a Clippers team that did not have number 2 or Paul George. Just for the record, let's put it in that perspective. I'm going 12 games better than that. So you say 49? Well, I'm going all the way up to 40. Yes, I'm going high. I'm going glasses half full.
I'm going 19 better.
49.
Okay.
19.
Go 22 better. Why not?
No, 19.
Come on. Oh, come on.
19.
That's really low.
Okay, now we get to all these issues. They're going to get off to a slow start because every time LeBron starts over, they start slow. Am I right? It just happens everywhere he's gone.
Miami,
They started
Cleveland,
really
it has
slow.
happened.
Okay, it
But
just
not.
happened.
But he been in LA for a year.
Okay, but not
Right.
with these guys.
I don't really see.
Yeah.
I would be a little
This is
surprised
a
if this
brand
started
new
as
team with
slow.
a brand new coaching
But
staff.
look at the talent.
Okay, but
I mean,
wait a
just
second.
AD.
Okay, so he didn't want Frank Vogel. He finally endorsed Frank Vogel just out of necessity. It's like Plan D. Or
We ain't
whatever they were.
endorsing.
Okay, well, you went to the opening media session.
that's what we do.
Stood with your back to the wall because your back is to the wall next year.
No, it's not.
Here's the other thing, though, Skip. In the East, he knew he